So you've studied the charts, you followed the setup, and you made the trade, just like you've done hundreds of times before. But this time, it didn't work. In fact, lately, it's been failing a whole lot more often than it's been working. So what's going on? Markets evolve, patterns break down, and what once felt like a reliable strategy can suddenly turn into a string of losses. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about what happens when your pattern that you trade in the markets stops working, whether it be for a short period of time, ranging from a week to a couple weeks to a month, or it's a pattern that is potentially ending its cycle and will not be around for a while. This is something that's currently happening to me. Ideally, it is the former, not the latter, and something that will come back and be a prevalent part of my trading soon again. But we're going to go through kind of the steps that I go through as I start to see something failing more often than it should, and what are the steps I take to remedy that situation going forward. My name is Dom with Clover Trading. Welcome in to another video. Make sure you go ahead, hit that thumbs up button, and subscribe to the channel if this content interests you. We are an educational platform over at clovertrading.io, and we would love to have you there. If you feel like you're learning a thing or two from the free content here on YouTube, we're live every day. The market is open. And let's get into another video. So you've been trading pattern for a long period of time. And if you've been familiar with Clover or Huddy or Kyle or myself, you know that we don't really trade a bajillion patterns. There's a lot of traders out there who are really, really good at trading just kind of price action every single day on any random runner, being able to short, go long, buy panics, short parabolics, just kind of doing everything. But if you follow Clover, you kind of know we're very specific when we want to trade. It's generally around what we call the life cycle of a penny stock, watching stocks that have made big moves. Are they going to continue that move? Looking for specific moments in which our bias really changes towards conviction to that they're going to go higher, or once they've become overextended, situations where they're going red for the first time or breaking a really significant behavioral trend, and after having gotten overextended are now, we want to short them for backside moves. And then the pattern we're going to talk about today is the first green day reversal, which is, kind of the opposite of that, where once a stock has gone on an insane run, it is now pulled back significantly off those highs. Is there the possibility that this is going to have another bounce, not that's going to overtake the highs that we have seen on the initial frontside move, but just, stocks don't go straight up. They don't go straight down. So is there a predictable moment when these stocks bottom after, being in the limelight, everyone's watching them, everyone's getting squeezed, everyone's making money on the long side, to where that script gets flipped, backside ensues. It's definitely not going higher anymore, but shorts need to cover, late longs want to get involved, people want to buy the bounce, and there is that sort of relief type of move. Once the stock goes from 1 to 10 and then 10 to 5, is there that move from 5 to 6 or 5 to 7? And that is the pattern for me that I have really been struggling with. And we're going to kind of talk through the layers that, when it comes to patterns not working anymore, what's going on, does it matter why it's not working anymore, and what I kind of do to protect capital in those moments while either waiting out the stretch where the pattern's not really working, optimizing it, or doing something with risk management to manage that in a better way, so that way I'm not drawing down to the point where the pattern isn't worth it anymore. So kind of step one, when I start to see a pattern that isn't working anymore, and right now first green days and reversals are really just struggling, things are not bouncing on the backside. We're getting lots of day one movers, multi-day runners, but it kind of seems like when that momentum is gone, even on the most highly liquid, voluminous, volatile, rangeful stocks with good catalysts at the right time, in this market cycle right now, they're just not bouncing. And for whatever reason, I don't ever really try to dig too much into that. If you guys are around the channel and you see the free stuff on YouTube and when we're live, you know that I just don't do any extra thinking. I think sometimes ignorance is bliss. I think the more you try to think about something so complex as the market, the more times you might spin your wheels trying to figure out a why, when it's more of just, is there a pattern there? What's the volume? Like there's more of a technical reason to either stay away or jump into something. And it's kind of that predictive mindset of trying to figure out the why that can sometimes either keep you out of stuff that works out really well, or get you trading something that you never should because it wasn't really a pattern. And as far as the why goes for why this would be the case right now, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and I really would not be able to tell you why bounces aren't really happening on the backside the way we have seen them. But I know that it's still quite a warm market. We're still getting lots of setups, a lot of breakouts, a lot of first red days. And so the small cap market seems hot. The overall market is at all-time highs. For whatever reason right now, it's just not working. And the first thing that I do when a pattern's not working is, kind of figure out, Is it the system that's broken, or is it the trader? All that it takes is some true transparency, some true honesty with yourself, going through the numbers, going through every single reversal or first green day I've seen over the past month or two that I've traded, and taking a look. Am I trading every single one of them? This is important, right? Am I in some sort of unlucky stretch where every single reversal I take is failing, but the ones I'm not taking are working? If that's the case, I need to, obviously focus on taking every single trade that fits criteria. Is it a situation where I may be taking trades that aren't the criteria, where they set up for, let's say, the reversal criteria as a whole, but once the day of the reversal actually happens, they're not actually triggering my entry criteria, which a lot of the times is that 5-minute high break, or some sort of high day break off of morning ranges, or some sort of green, red to green move on day 2 or 3 or 4 once the stock hasn't gone green in multiple days. Am I buying before it triggers and then it's failing, right? So I'm trying to dive in deep to the pattern and all the opportunities that I've seen take place in the pattern right now, and figured out, is all the failure because the pattern is triggering and then failing, or am I also losing more right now because I'm doing extra? And it's usually these times when you're in a drawdown, when the market cools off, or when a pattern stops working effectively, where we start to actually really realize a lot of our bad habits. And although in this case, the reversals and first green days really aren't working all that well, there's like 1 or 2 out of 10 or 20 that have really worked as of late. There are still areas where I go through and I'm like, okay, the pattern might not be doing the best right now, but I am still causing more damage than I need to, because I must have gotten away with a lot of bad habits over the past few months when this pattern was working really well, and now it's not. So the first thing I want to do is identify, is the pattern really broken and not working right now, or is it the trader? And if it's, something as simple as the pattern's still working enough to be profitable, I just have to make some adjustments. I can easily put in some rules, make sure I'm taking more trades, make sure I'm waiting for triggers, make sure I'm using the right risk level, whatever it is, and boom, we're on our way. If we've identified now that it is the system's problem and the pattern is not working right now, the next thing, which is a lot of times what I will do, just because I kind of go into full protect mode. I am much more of a risk reward trader than I am a win rate trader. My career win rate's in the low 40% area. I'm not one of those guys that's winning 60, 70, 80% of the time. And so when my patterns stop working, I really need to know, is it just part of, the EV curve, I guess, or just something where sometimes I'm going to lose more, I might lose 5 or 10 in a row, but when I'm right, 2 or 3 winners makes all that money back? Or is this something that's just not showing up enough at a high enough frequency where even with good risk reward, I am not going to be ahead? And so something I do when I start to catch 5 or 10 losers in a row, and I've done step 1 and taken a look at, is it me or is it the pattern? And it appears to be the pattern, is I will just cut the pattern out for a little while. And all I'm waiting to do is to see a few winners work, to continue doing what I normally would. I make my watch list every single night. I give it out to all the Clover students, and I have sections, right? I have my reversal section, my breakout section, and my first red day section. I would still continue to do, and this is what I've been doing as of late, is I'll go through my charts and I'll go, okay, open fits reversal criteria. It's ran over 300% from the 60 or 70% area to 5. It's had at least 1 red day, in this case, multiple red days. It's on watch for tomorrow, but I'm not going to trade reversals right now. I want to see a few work. So I'll still put in the work. I'll still be prepared. I'll still keep an eye on the criteria for what matches the criteria for that pattern, but I won't actively trade it. Or I will only trade like the best of the best, maximum volume, the right amount of height, maybe 400, 500% move instead of 300. I raise the criteria a little bit, or only look at the top 1 or 2% of maybe the 10 or 15 I might see that month, and only trade the top 1 or 2 of them, because maybe I think that those have the best chance for success. But for the most part, I'm really just trying to cut it out, the pattern, and wait till I see it start to work again. I would rather, miss 1 or 2 good examples and then be able to hop back on the pattern and start making money with it again, than there might be the case that this pattern might not work again for 3 months, 6 months, a year. And if that's the case, do I really want to spend 3 months, 6 months, a year racking up a bunch of losses on a pattern that's not working and is proving unprofitable and killing my total P&L? Or would I rather give away the opportunity cost of 1 or 2 examples that I'm not going to be a part of right now, but then I know that the pattern's back and it's working again? And we see this all the time in small caps, right? Patterns come into our lives, patterns come out of our lives, and sometimes they stay away forever and you have to adapt and learn new patterns. Other times, they go through cycles, and there's periods where breakouts suck, there's periods where we don't get that many first red days, and there's periods where reversals are working great, and one's working great, one's working poorly. They're always going through cycles, and you have to be aware of that, and you have to figure out which one of these methods works works for you when it comes to managing these situations. The other thing you can do is you can size down and just choose to weather the storm. And again, I think this is kind of dependent on what type of pattern you have. If it's a truly like, gap and crapper, and it's a truly like high win rate pattern where when you're right, you make like half an R, when you're wrong, you lose a full R, and you're supposed to win 70, 75, 80% of the time, 5, 10, 15 losses in a row really starts to hurt that P&L. So I would be probably really quick to at least do this step, which is sizing down and trying to weather the storm that way. So at least when I'm going through a drawdown, it's not going to be as bad and not going to affect me as horribly as if I'm constantly taking these full R losses over and over while the pattern is in a drawdown. If I'm not going to go ahead and cut the pattern out completely for right now and just wait till I see a couple winners, sizing down can affect the mental state. It can allow you to feel like you're not falling out of rhythm because you're still, doing everything we talked about, scanning for these stocks, preparing for them on your watch list, watching the open, watching its ranges, watching whether or not it triggers, and keeping track if they're working or not. And maybe even sizing down to the point where I'm not even talking like, by 20%, 30%, but like 70 or 80%. Like if you really feel like the pattern is just not working right now for a couple weeks, a month, and you're not sure if it's coming back or you don't really feel like stopping, you can size down a very high percentage of your position. So that way you're still mentally okay if you see a winner come by and you don't miss it. But sizing down for a lot of people, whether it's just a generic drawdown, you took a big loss out of nowhere, or it's a specific pattern not working, sizing down can be really helpful because it can, allow you not to feel as crazy as you trade every single day because you're obviously in a drawdown and this pattern's not working. Sorry, editor dog was barking. And yeah, so sizing down I think can be really helpful for managing your emotions during times when you're not sure if a pattern is dead forever or if it's just going through a slow cycle. This is what I'll do a lot with some other patterns that have really great risk reward, like breakouts for me. I never really, we definitely go through cycles where they stop working as well, and maybe a week or two goes by or 3 weeks without one really working well. But because the risk reward is so great on that setup, and I don't ever want to sacrifice the potential on one winner because it could be 10, 15, 20 to 1 R, I will just slowly size down. And when I'm into a situation I really like, then I will start to size back into it with one full R. Because in that situation, the pattern is so choppy and the win rate's so low that I never really know if I'm in a full drawdown with it, like the pattern's not working, or if I'm just haven't really found one really good sized winner, which is kind of a downside to, high risk reward style trading. The third option you can do in situations like this is get really technical. This is what I think the best of the best traders do who, are not fully into like systematizing their system, but they just want to always make sure they have the upper hand on the market. And that is like focusing on reworking the system. That is getting really intuitive with, taking a look at this open chart here. And although I can go through so many examples, BMNR, Wolf, which was a great short squeeze, great volume off the lows, obviously horrible catalyst and that they're potentially going bankrupt soon, but no real bounce on the backside after such a strong front side. As QNS, still hasn't had a green candle in this entire move down after its great frontside move. There are still situations where stuff is bouncing a little, so you could maybe rework your pattern or your system to be more conservative with your price targets, right? Maybe you enter in the same way. Maybe it's something you've noticed that you're taking a bunch of full-size losers in a row, but if you maybe lightened up your profit target, instead of looking for a 40% move, you start looking for a 20% move. Instead of looking for 50 cents a share move, you start looking for 30 cents. And you backtrack the 3 out of 10 that worked, that bounced a little bit over the past 2 or 3 weeks. And you go, how could I have made money on these? And you go, okay, this isn't a time where I'm going to maximize this up and make a ton of money, but I could still be profitable. Here's how. And it's maybe being, adjusting price targets, maybe adjusting entry style. So maybe instead of entering into strength, like I do with reversals, you find a way to buy the previous day or buy an after hours or pre-market or buy into morning pulls instead of morning strength, right? So adjust exits, adjust entries, adjust something I said earlier, the criteria where you're only looking for a certain, maybe it needs to be like A++ instead of trading all B+ and ups, right? Your tier system. A lot of people trade off tiered systems with their patterns. So you can rework the pattern to fit the current market cycle if there's enough still working with the pattern, but you don't want to cut it out completely. You can say, okay, I'm only going to trade the top 2% of them. I'm only going to buy this style of them. I'm only going to buy in this manner, into weakness, into strength, whatever it is. And you can rework the system to try to find, instead of waiting for the pattern to be perfect, you can maybe throw a couple band-aids on it and try to make it work for right now. So those are kind of the things that I do when a pattern stops working For me, it's kind of like I go through this and I kind of decide based on the pattern that it is, whether it's one of my reversals, first red days, breakouts, whether it's trading gappers, parabolics, whatever it is. We went through a cycle like this in 2022 with Chinese liquidation plays, which it ended up being, the pattern only made sense for like 8 to 12 months and then it was gone. And I will go pick one of these, whether it's stopping the system completely, sizing down, or diving in and figure out a way to optimize the system for current market conditions, depending on the pattern that I'm trading and what's all gone wrong with it. I will do one of these things to try to keep me in the game and to either mitigate my losses during a drawdown period where the market's just not working for this pattern right now, or find a way to make something off the pattern because it's something I spent a lot of time on, or just completely disregard it and hold on to my money and protect my capital until the next stretch of a hot sector, a hot market, a hot theme, whatever it is, comes back and this pattern comes back to life. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, click that thumbs up button, leave a comment for what you want to see in the future. We're posting multiple times a week right now. We're live every day the market is open for Good Morning NASDAQ and Wine Wednesdays on Wednesday nights. So if you have any ideas or topics you want to hear about, let us know. And if you're interested in hanging out with us on a weekly basis, you can over at clovertrading.io.